Hey guys, welcome back for Deuteronomy chapter 20 today. Verse 1. When you go out to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots and people more numerous than you, do not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God, who brought you up from the land of Egypt, is with you. When you are approaching the battle, the priest shall come near and speak to the people. He shall say to them, Hear, O Israel, you are approaching the battle against your enemies today. Do not be faint-hearted. Do not be afraid or panic or tremble before them. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. The officers also shall speak to the people, saying, Who is the man that has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him depart and return to his house. Otherwise he might die in the battle, and another man would dedicate it. Who is the man that has planted a vineyard and has not begun to use its fruit? Let him depart and return to his house. Otherwise he might die in the battle, and another man would begin to use its fruit. And who is the man that is engaged to a woman and has not married her yet, and not married her? Let him depart and return to his house. Otherwise he might die in the battle, and another man would marry her. Then the officers shall speak further to the people and say, Who is the man that is afraid and faint-hearted? Let him depart and return to his house, so that he might not make his brother's hearts melt like his heart. Wouldn't want to be that guy. Verse 9. When the officers have finished speaking to the people, they shall appoint commanders of armies at the head of the people. When you approach a city to fight against it, you shall offer it terms of peace. If it agrees to make peace with you and opens to you, then all the people who are found in it shall become your forced labor and shall serve you. However, if it does not make peace with you, but makes war against you, then you shall besiege it. When the Lord your God gives it into your hand, you shall strike all the men in it with the edge of the sword. Only the women and the children and the animals and all that is in the city, all its spoil, you shall take as booty for yourself. And you shall use the spoil of your enemies, which the Lord your God has given you. Thus you shall do to all the cities that are very far from you, which are not of the cities of these nearby nations. Only in the cities of these peoples that the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, which were the nearby cities, you shall not leave alive anything that breathes. Okay, so we're about to read of certain cities in which God's judgment appears to be more intense, and we'll get into it a little further. Verse 17, But you shall utterly destroy them, the Hittite and the Amorite, the Canaanite and the Perizzite, the Hivite and the Jebusite, as the Lord your God has commanded you, so that they may not teach you to do according to all their detestable things which they have done for their gods, so that you would sin against the Lord your God. All right, so in some of these cities that may have not been known for pagan idol worship, or possibly they were too far removed geographically to be a threat, God chose to offer terms of peace first, and if not, would spare some, such as the women and children. But in the cities where it is known that pagan practices were the norm, such as the Midianites back in Numbers chapter 31, God chose to do away with everything. So keep in mind that these people practiced things like child sacrifice, cult prostitution, and bestiality, which God wanted to completely eliminate. There may have been a chance that if the women and children were spared, they may have married an Israelite and corrupted them from the inside out. And the children might have grown up hearing the stories of what happened and wanted to seek vengeance. Who knows? But God does not see human events as we do. He sees them only as He can. Verse 19. When you besiege a city a long time to make war against it in order to capture it, you shall not destroy its trees by swinging an axe against them, for you may eat from them, and you shall not cut them down. So if they were going to be there fighting for a while, they would need the fruit from these trees for nourishment. So back to the middle of verse 19. For is the tree of the field a man, that it should be besieged by you? Only the trees which you know are not fruit trees you shall destroy and cut down, that you may construct siege works against the city that is making war with you until it falls. And again, there's one God. If these nations are, doing hideous idolatry, it's going to be a problem. Okay, guys, thanks for being here, and God bless you. Take care.